Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter Podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to a very special Wednesday edition of Ringside Reporter. Listen, you know, if it's a Wednesday edition, and Beeb, you can vouch for this too. You know that if it's a Wednesday edition, we're coming at you hot because we got some news. Beeb, Canelo's next fight is all but announced. All but announced. And he is fighting Ilunga Makabu. Beeb, he's fighting. Have you seen Ilunga Makabu fight?
Let me explain something to you. Yeah, he got knocked out by Tony Bellew after Tony Bellew.
In 3 rounds.
Tony Bellew but he knocked Tony Bellew down in the first round.
Stop it.
Listen, you got to understand something.
From Boston.
This guy was the WBC International Cruiserweight Champion. He was the WBC Silver Champion. Okay,
Beeb, I think
he was the IBF.
You might have a chance against this guy, not Canelo, of course. I'm talking about Makabu.
He was the IBF Youth Champion. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that. Now that changes things a bit.
And he was
the
WBF Cruiserweight Champion. So check the resume. This guy is more than qualified to fight Canelo Alvarez.
Is he though? I got the money belt behind me.
He's a dangerous.
I got the Ringside Reporter belt. Maybe Canelo can fight me.
Do you know he was knocked out in his first fight ever?
Yes, I do.
And you know what? He could have packed it in.
He probably should have packed it in. No,
he could have got a 9-5 and said, you know what, I'm not going to do this.
Right.
But he persevered, man. This is a guy that has intestinal fortitude. He's not going to just hand his cruiserweight title over to Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is going to have to fight.
Does it really matter if he's going to have
fight for his life in this fight?
Or you think so?
This is going to be a battle. This guy has 25 knockouts in his 28 wins. This guy's dangerous.
This guy's dangerous. Well, you know what? You're probably right, Beeb. And so why don't we do this? Why don't we go to BoxRec and Google? I wonder if this guy even has a record on BoxRec.
Of course he does.
Does he?
Of course he does.
For all the name guys he's fought?
This guy is Congo's finest, okay? He's from Congo. They don't play around in Congo.
Boxers coming out of the Congo, huh? They talked about, you know what? They talked about actually having this fight in the Congo.
They did.
Yeah. I spelled his name wrong. But that's not the first time that'll happen.
You better show some respect, man. Put some respect on this kid's name, man.
I won't.
Didn't you just hear the resume I reeled off?
Let me. He's never fought in the U.S. He's fought. Let's see here. Who was his last fight against? The guy was 34-7. The guy he fought last.
Tough guy.
Olan Waraju Duradola. You heard of him, right? No? Maybe you've heard of Michael Cieslak, the Polish guy.
I'm sure he's a great fighter. Just because I don't hear about.
Have you heard of him?
I heard of him, yeah.
Yeah, you heard of him, right? Yeah,
he's pretty good.
Dmitry Kudryashov. You've heard of him, right? Yeah, we've all heard of him. This is this idiot's resume. This is what we're dealing with here. Yeah, this is his resume. Are we for real here? Why doesn't he just go and take some kid's lunch money? It's the same thing. It is the exact same thing. Not only is this for the watered down cruiserweight title, because let's talk. Maris Bradis is up there. That's a good fight. Maris Bradis, Lawrence Okoli, he's up there. That's a good fight. That's a winnable fight. Very winnable fight.
The Okoli fight, yeah, it's a Okoli fight because
Okoli's young kid,
not a ton of experience,
Oh, very winnable fight, right? All right, but no, he's going to fight this guy. You know why he's going to fight this guy? Can I give you a hint? Beeb, why don't you tell me what the cruiserweight limit is? It's 200 pounds, right?
Correct.
Yeah. No, No, it's not. Not in the WBC, not where we do things differently in the WBC. It is 190 pounds now, son. That's what they held this whole thing for. They said, no, we're going to drop the weight to 190 pounds where it was back in 76 or whatever it was when they established, I think 79, when they established a cruiserweight division. Yeah, so it's 190 pounds. Yeah, that's right. Maybe next he'll move up and be Bridgerweight champion.
Well, I was the Lebanese cruiserweight champion, and I don't know if I can get down to 190 anymore, man.
What is there? Two Lebanese people and you guys fought for it?
I mean,
well, you and your brother
I am the Lebanese
it?
Cruiserweight champion.
By the way, my money's on your brother, all right? I'm just saying.
I have emeritus status. So if I'm going to come out and defend my emeritus title, I don't know if I can make 190.
I would rather see you fight Makabu than Canelo fight Makabu.
I don't know if I can make 190, man.
Oh, you can make 190. I got faith in you, man. You could make 190. Dwayne this time says weight drain, and I'm guessing rehydration clause. No, it's at 190. The WBC has actually moved their cruiserweight division to 190.
Yeah, it's stupid.
You know what I mean? So it's no longer 200 pounds. They moved it to 190. My guess. Maybe they were in cahoots. I don't know. Sounds about right. That's the WBC for you because they suck. Yeah.
They got the Bridgerweight title now.
Yeah, too. That's beautiful too. You gotta be kidding me. Why did they call it Bridgerweight? Because of that kid? That kid got his face bitten up by the dog or something like that. Remember that?
Yeah.
What's his name? Bridger. Horrible incident, right? But they decided to call it Bridgerweight, but we didn't need a new weight division. See, that's the problem. We didn't need, why don't you rename the cruiserweight division Bridgerweight if you want to do that? And then the other, I don't have any problems with that. Do whatever you want. I don't think it should be named Bridgerweight, but whatever.
Eric, is Makabu a world titleist?
Beeb, is he a belt holder?
I'm asking you.
I
want to use your
criteria.
I want to use your criteria.
I would like to use your criteria.
I'm calling you
now.
on your criteria.
I would like to use your criteria now.
Now you said anyone that has a world title
belt holder.
Did you not say? Now it's on record here. Did you not say that anyone that wins a championship has the right to call themselves a world champion?
Sure, and I'm sure this Thanksgiving when he's in the Congo, he'll be calling himself world champion at the dinner table. However, according to you,
and this is the green belt,
he's just a belt holder, right?
To be honest with you, I would say
the green belt is the most prestigious belt.
It's the most prestigious belt in boxing. Everyone knows that. Mayweather has. Look how many WBC belts Mayweather has. Goes to the convention every year. He doesn't go to the IBF convention, does he? He doesn't go to the WBA convention or the WBO. He goes to the WBC. He was just there by the way.
Why do you think that is?
Because it's the most prestigious belt.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
And green's his favorite color.
Jesus.
So this guy has the right to be called the world champion by your criteria.
He does have the right. Listen. If he got the belt,
you're desecrating his title.
If he got the belt, he earned the belt. So he does deserve to call himself champion. I get that. But do you really think this is a fair type of fight?
Well, look how much weight and size Canelo is basically 5'7.5". Right?
He walks around at what does he walk around at?
I would guess he walks around at maybe
180, 190.
I'd say 180. I'd say he walks around at 180.
168. He comes in at 168.
Yeah.
78, 88. I would imagine he walks around at 185, 190.
You think he walks around that high?
I do.
I don't think so. I think he walks
because it's really not that much weight to lose.
12 pounds?
No. From 68, 78, about 15, 17. Yeah. I've seen comments says Canelo is mega strategic. Maybe. I mean, how much do you think this fight's actually going to be worth? Because I'll tell you right now, I'm not watching it. And hopefully it's on DAZN but it doesn't matter.
You're not interested. This is history being made.
Is it really though? Is it
fifth-
really history if you take the belt off of this guy?
Let me ask you this.
Is it a fifth? Is it really a fifth world? I mean, is this really a history-making
Can
fight?
I ask you a question? Did you watch Roy Jones versus John Ruiz?
I did. And John Ruiz was an established heavyweight champion. Now, that fight, we all thought like that, you know, we all thought Roy was going to win, but we knew that fight could get ugly. We knew that fight could go either way.
This fight could get ugly too. This fight could get ugly too. This is a southpaw with 25 knockouts in his 28 victories.
25 knockouts over the likes of Alexei Papin. He didn't knock that guy out. Kudryashov, he knocked out.
He knocked Tony Bellew down in the first round.
He also got knocked out in 3 rounds by Tony Bellew.
That was a
in
fluke
the same
punch.
fight.
What do you get the guy?
The fluke punch. The fluke punch.
It's a fluke punch. You notice how Tony Bellew never gave him a rematch. He knew what time it was.
Yeah, because typically we give people rematches if they get knocked out in the 3rd round. Yeah.
Give Joshua rematches when he gets knocked out.
Joshua's a big name.
You don't know who Makabu is?
You've never seen him fight. I've never seen him fight. Prior to yesterday, I didn't know who this guy was. You could have said his name, and I would have thought maybe he's a pro bowler or something like that. I have no idea who this guy was.
Are you going to call this guy a bowler?
What's wrong with bowling? Why are you just taking a dump all over the bowlers now?
See, this guy's a pro bowler.
That's not good.
He puts his life on the line. You can't. That's a false equivalency. Like when I go down
his life on the line.
When I go down to Hill Park and I play a game of horse with the 6th graders, right?
They're all pretty good though.
Does that mean that I'm an NBA player? No. Okay.
Yeah, but you know, you could be a very high college player. I mean, those kids are good.
Listen, I can barely hang in there with the 6th graders at my age right now. All right.
Sure.
So there's no way I can even go near a college player. Come
on. Gokusan 87 says, how is this a cherry pick? Because it's a guy he knows he can beat. It's a guy Beeb can probably beat. Yeah. Yeah, that's a cherry pick.
Hey, everybody in the chat, hit the motherfucking like button.
There you go.
Hey, listen. Hey, the phone lines are going to be open in about 10 minutes. I'm so excited.
Not going to open them.
You're not going to open them?
Not going to do it.
Yeah, because you know you're going to get torched. You know it. You know, Coach C may call in. Coach C may come back.
Is still in hiding after being starched by me. And you know what? He may never call back again. And you know what? I don't blame him.
So let me ask you this.
Because I wouldn't have liked to take a beat down like that either.
What do you think the odds in this fight are going to be?
1,000,000 to 1. That's the odds. Seriously, 4,000 or 5,000 to 1. Yeah, that's the odds.
Do you think? Let me ask you this question: did you give? I should say,
hating on Mexicans.
Did you give Caleb Plant a better chance of beating Canelo than this man?
Yeah. Yeah,
so you
by
think Caleb
a long
Plant,
shot.
You think Caleb Plant had a better chance?
I gave Callum Smith a better chance of beating Canelo than this guy. Yeah, but for sure.
Don't you understand, though? 168, 178, 188. He's moving up 22 pounds. That's 22 pounds.
So
you
what,
think
to
that's
fight
easy?
This guy to fight this guy.
That's like Robbie fighting me. How much of a chance would you give Robbie fighting me?
Robbie's 100 pounds.
He's 140.
He's not 140. He's like featherweight. He's like 112. He could be a jockey or something like that.
Isn't he 140?
No. He's not 140. He's like 110 or 112 or something like. He's like chick weight or something like that. I don't know.
Fucking weasel. But
stop.
That'd be like Robbie fighting me. What Canelo's doing right now?
No,
and I would be. And I would be.
It would be like you fighting Robbie if you're Canelo and he's Makabu or whatever his name is. Yeah, you're right. That's what it would be like. You're right. 100%.
So you're giving Makabu no shot in this fight. You don't think Makabu's live here? This was a guy that lost his.
Do I think Makabu's live here?
Let me explain something.
He could pass away the Friday before the fight and still have a better chance of beating Canelo, okay? He ain't beating Canelo, son.
Let me explain something to you.
Absolutely.
Let me just explain something to you. Okay? This is a man that got knocked out. Got knocked out his first fight.
Yeah.
And I reiterate, he could have packed it in. It takes
Did he ever fight that guy again, by the way? Maybe he should fight that guy before he fights Canelo.
It takes a special guy. You know how many people would have just packed it in right then and there and started looking in the help wanted section the next day after something like that? But
who did he even beat for this belt?
This guy persevered, man.
Who did he even
persevered?
beat?
He hung in there.
Like, really? Like, who did he beat for this belt? Let me see. Silver. He fought Michael Cieslak, maybe? It's a Polish guy. He fought him for the vacant title. He didn't even fight a champion. I don't know that he's ever fought a champion.
Again, you said it out of your own mouth. It's recorded.
Sure.
If you win a belt, you are a champion.
He is a champion.
So look at this man. Put some respect on this guy's name.
Listen, he's a champ. No question. We'll not take that away from him.
Congo, stand up, Raby. Congo's finest. Give this guy some credit.
Congo's.
They named streets after this guy, Makabu Lane.
Are you listening to yourself?
Give this guy
I don't even
credit.
think. I think he's probably unknown in the Congo. The only people that know him are his family.
Come on.
Come on, Beeb. Are
you kidding me? 22-pound, 74.5-inch reach, 6 feet tall. I mean, this is a tall task right here, and you are just totally disregarding how difficult of a challenge this fight is for Canelo Alvarez.
Because it's not going to be a challenge at all, Beeb.
So you're not going to give Canelo Alvarez any credit for winning a belt in a 5th weight class.
He gets zero. He gets zero
credit.
This
is history.
He gets zero credit.
This is history.
Is it really, though? If he
Can you imagine Mayweather going up to
this guy?
Mayweather never went up to cruiserweight. Pacquiao never went up to cruiserweight. Triple G never went up to cruiserweight.
Didn't Mayweather?
Bernard Hopkins never went up to cruiserweight.
Didn't they all start off at like 130 and Pacquiao started at like 112 or something crazy?
Tommy Hearn started at 147 pounds. Listen to this now.
When you tell me that.
Tommy Hearn started at 147 pounds.
Sure.
He fought at cruiserweight. He moved up to cruiserweight. There's only one other guy that did that. That's Tommy Hearns. Tommy Hearns.
Dwayne says that Canelo's fighting my Uber driver from last week.
You guys are just really disregarding this guy. I can't wait for these phone lines to open up at 4:30, man.
Oh my goodness.
I can't wait for these phone lines to open up at 4:30. I just can't wait. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I need you guys to call in, and I need you to blast Eric. Let him know he's sleeping on Makabu.
I'm sleeping on Makabu because he's going to get slept that night. I'm telling you. This isn't even like this isn't even competitive, dude. Like at least give me a competitive fight. Like him and Lawrence Okoli. That would be good. That would be competitive. Him and Maris Briedis. I don't know that he beats Maris Briedis, but
Briedis would be a tough fight. Yeah,
Briedis would be a very tough fight. Briedis is a tough guy, man.
Those guys ain't coming down to 190 either.
No. So
I don't
really,
like
it's not even really a cruiserweight fight, is it?
I don't like the fact.
You know what this reminds me of? Leonard and Lalonde, your boy. Aaron Daly, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. He said he's not a cherry. Improved load since the Bellew fight. Last 3/4 of opponents have been a top draw, powerful, durable, upper body movement. Stop it. Stop.
This guy's a great fighter, man.
Stop it.
This guy's a world-class fighter.
Who was he fighting? He said he's improved loads since the Tony Bellew fight. He hasn't fought anybody since the Tony Bellew fight. Are you kidding me? I can't name one guy on that resume. Not one. Not one. Babe, we do this every day, every week. We didn't know who this guy was. We had no idea. No idea.
He gave Tony Bellew went life and death with this guy before he landed
for 3 rounds.
The guy
for 3 rounds. He went life and death with this guy for 3 rounds.
Tony Bellew landed a Hail Mary haymaker because he was in for the fight of his life. Please. This guy knocked him down in the first round. All right.
Would he slip on a banana peel on the way to
This
the
guy's
ring?
no joke. This guy packs a punch.
Stop.
Ask
And he's
Tony
knocking out
Bellew how
these
good
guys
this
that
guy is.
nobody's
Ask
ever
Tony
heard
Bellew
of.
how good this guy is.
Not to mention his last couple of fights have all been at all of his
Let me ask you a
fights
question.
since Tony Bellew has been at 200 pounds. Now they're going to ask him to lose 10 pounds.
This is a man that came back from losing his first fight by knockout. He has the intestinal fortitude of I can't words can't even describe the amount of intestinal fortitude this guy has. And let me tell you something else. Let me ask you this question. Is Tony Bellew a legitimate cruiserweight champion of the world? What are you thinking about? This is the guy that you said that you picked to beat David Haye twice.
Of the show. And he did beat David. Yeah, he's a friend of the show.
So he beat Makabu to win his first and only world title. Now, do you discredit Tony Bellew for fighting Makabu? Why can Tony Bellew fight him, but Canelo can't? And Tony Bellew's huge.
Because Tony Bellew defended the title.
He's 6'3".
And he's also in the cruiserweight class.
6'3". Canelo's 5'7.5". So
and they
it was
fought
okay.
for the WBC.
It was okay.
And they fought for the WBC cruiserweight title, right?
Yes.
This is the ridiculous WBC rankings here. That's how ridiculous it is.
And you want to know why Canelo couldn't, you want to know why Canelo's not fighting Akoli and Marius Briedis? You really want to know why?
Because he can't win.
No.
Why?
Because the WBO and the IBF are never going to give him permission. They know. They know what's
never going to give him permission.
He had to specifically get permission from the WBC.
All right, talk about this fight, Beeb. I'm going to go ahead and, wait a second. Let me put you here for the solo layout. Go ahead and talk about this fight. I'm going to go ahead and connect to Blog Talk. Go ahead.
Okay. So again, just because people don't know who this gentleman is, Makabu, go on YouTube. Go on YouTube, Google this guy. This guy is a slick boxer. Okay.
Google him because that's the only way you'll find him.
Go on YouTube and just do a search for this gentleman. Gave Tony Bellew fits. Thank you so much for the super chat. Canelo chasing belts. The rest just a chase payday. Listo pa los chingazos. Chingazos. You know what chingazos is. That's what Makabu's going to be throwing come May when he fights Canelo. So again, this is a history-making fight. The WBC decided to allow this fight to happen. Canelo's going to be he's going to be moving up 22 pounds. Now, even if you don't like the fact that they made this fight at that they changed their weight limit to 190, right? Even if you don't like that, right? You have to understand this. Okay? It's still 22 pounds, right? 5'8", right? 5'8". He's giving up 4 inches in height, right? 5 inches in reach. This is a crazy challenge. I'm glad you opened up the phone lines. I'm so glad because I need these people to explain to you because you don't take me serious, right?
No, I do not.
You don't take my opinion serious, right? You don't give my opinion. My opinion holds no weight.
Okay. I'm about to bust you right now because I knew this was going to come up. This is the same as Ndongo being champion at 140. It is nowhere near the same. Ndongo had won 2 belts from 2 guys, went to their hometowns, beat them. Ndongo, totally different thing. Totally different. Nowhere near. Crawford had an easy time with him because Crawford's a specimen, but this is nowhere near Ndongo. No. 100%. That's a hard no.
Let me just say this.
Maestro said this is a better fight than Charlo. Son, come on. No way this is a better fight than Charlo. No way.
Let me just say this. Right? It's 22 pounds. It's another weight class. And when you looked at the Sergey Kovalev fight, didn't we all say he's going to destroy Sergey Kovalev? Didn't we all say it was going to be a one-sided
we picked him
fight?
to win. I picked him to win. I didn't think it was going to be too one-sided.
Okay. A lot of people were shitting all over that fight too. Oh, Kovalev's too old. Kovalev is way past it, right? And that fight turned out to be a lot. Can I at least ask you this? Was it more competitive than you anticipated? Did you ever envision?
I had Sergey Kovalev ahead. I didn't think.
Did you ever envision at any point in time you'd have Kovalev up in that fight over Canelo?
No, I did not.
All right.
No.
So that exceeded your expectations.
Well, would you say that Kovalev has fought more name guys, was a more recognized champion?
It's not Congo's. I mean, it's not this guy's fault, Makabu.
I believe it is his fault.
These guys don't want no. These guys don't want any piece of him. Just letting you know that right now.
Is that why that's why he never fights in the U.S.? Because he's such a hot commodity?
Well, you know how
in the Congo?
I mean,
in Russia?
These other fighters, these promoters, they don't want to call this guy out. They know how he's a southpaw. All right? With 25 knockouts in 28 fights. 28 victories, excuse me. Right?
Oh, Jesus. All right, let's go to the phones real quick. 405, area code 405. You're live.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, cool. This is AMG in the chat, by the way.
AMG, how are you?
Can you school Eric and tell him why this fight's great?
Yes.
Well, I just saw the YouTube fight for Bellew versus Makabu. Makabu made him do a backflip with that knockdown in the first round. I just saw
Tell him this kid got power.
I like this. I like this because at the end of the day, I mean, Canelo's going to get hit at least on his guard, maybe in the face, maybe to the body from a big-ass dude, right?
Doesn't Canelo spar with heavyweights?
So there's risk.
Doesn't he spar with heavyweights?
Yeah,
that's what great fighters do. That's what great fighters do. Daring to be great.
Spar with heavyweights.
Daring to be great.
And by the way, he's going to have to lose 10 pounds. Makabu's going to have to lose 10 pounds to fight him. Because that's the new cruiserweight limit in the WBC.
Do you know
so it's not even really a cruiserweight.
Do you know that Makabu? Do you know that Makabu has to eat his way up to cruiserweight?
Pretty sure he doesn't.
He walks around at 195, man. He can lose 5 pounds easy. He can lose 5 pounds easy.
Oh, good Lord!
Guy walks around at 195. He has to eat his way up to cruiserweight.
Who are you picking? AMG. Who are you picking?
I got Canelo.
By what?
To be honest with you,
by destruction or like what? By knockout? By decision?
No, I do have it by knockdown.
Ask me who I'm picking.
Who are you picking, Beeb?
This fight is so close. I'm sitting it out.
Because they won't take your action on Canelo.
I'm sitting it out. I'm sitting this one out. I'm sitting this one out.
To call.
I'm sitting this one out, man. If I can get odds, I may even put a few on Makabu, man. But I don't want to. I don't want to. I mean, Canelo. This is history, man. This is history. I don't know if I want to go against history, man. Because once you go against history, man, you're doomed, right? I could be cursed for the rest of my life.
But really, like history. 20, 30 years from now. 20, 30 years from now, this is still a 5th division. Pacquiao is a 8th division champion. Do you guys know every champion Pacquiao beat?
Do you think?
To get his 8 division titles.
Do you think? Let me ask you this. Do you think this is a cherry pick?
I think it's a strategic move.
Is it a cherry pick?
No, it's not a cherry pick, man.
No, I don't think it's a cherry pick.
You don't think it's a cherry pick? What's your definition? You think there's risk in this?
Yes.
Making a cruiserweight lose 10 pounds and then fighting him?
Yes, there's risk. Look at Leonard when he fought Lalonde.
Canelo's like unhittable now? Is Canelo unhittable?
Is Canelo unhittable? His defense is very good.
No, right?
No, he's not unhittable. No,
but he's not unhittable. He gets hit. Okay, so
Eric, you don't understand. He's fighting a bigger guy, Eric. Right? He's fighting a bigger guy with a phenomenal jab. This guy's a southpaw
with a lot less talent than he has.
He knocked Tony Bellew down.
He got knocked out in the 3rd round by Tony Bellew. I can't say that loud enough. He was knocked down.
Bellew went life and death with this guy for 3 rounds before he landed that Hill
3 rounds is all he lasted against the best fighter of his career who he fought. He was only able to last 3 rounds.
Bellew went life and death.
Marinate on that, son. 3 rounds.
Bellew went life and death with this guy.
Bellew, I'm watching the fight, son. Bellew did not go life and death with this guy.
Life and death. You got Bellew's number. Call him up.
Bellew
Ask him
wins-
how tough of a
Bellew
fight
wins,
this
he
was.
drops to his knees. He's so excited.
Did you see the? Oh, Jesus! Did you see the knockout?
When Bellew wins, he drops to his knees, dude. He's so excited.
Did you see the knockout?
When Bellew won,
He was out
dropped to his
cold on
knees.
the rope, son. He
When
looked like he
Bellew
died.
When Bellew won, right? He dropped to his knees and looked up to the sky and said, "Thank you, God, for allowing me
Because he
to
just
land,
won the
for
championship.
allowing me to land that Hail Mary punch
Oh,
against this
jeez.
guy. If
Oh.
you didn't allow me to land this one punch
Ooh.
knockout, this glorious punch that I landed on this guy when I
Oh my!
I just prayed that I would
goodness.
land it. I would be in life and death right now with this guy. Thank you, God." That's what he was saying.
Seriously,
He looked
did
up
you
at the
guys? AMG, you saw that fight, right? You saw that
Yeah,
fight?
I literally just saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw it too.
Mhm.
Did you see the way he got knocked out? That was vicious.
It was
Yeah,
a fluke.
yeah.
That was vicious,
It was a fluke.
son.
It was a fluke, man.
Son, this guy is gonna get murked.
It was a fluke.
This isn't even fair, man. This isn't even fair.
How many rounds do you think this fight goes?
Yo, but really,
Like four. Like four.
Nah, I think like maybe 6 or 7.
I'll be honest with you.
Maybe
I'm going to
6
be
or
honest with
7.
you. I'm going to be honest with you. This is how I think this fight's going to go. I think it's going to be a split decision victory for Canelo. This is going the whole 12.
And you think it's gonna be a split decision?
Split decision victory for Canelo.
Let's pie bet it. Let's pie bet it. Let's pie bet it.
I'll bet whatever you need to bet.
Let's pie bet
The
it.
thing is, Canelo's
Say it.
gonna
I'm
have
gonna pie bet.
We're going to bet this fight goes the distance.
No.
We'll
We're
bet this
gonna
fight
bet,
goes the
we're gonna
distance.
bet a split decision.
That's too much. I mean, let's just bet it goes the distance. You think it's not going to be competitive, right?
I don't think it's competitive at all. No, but competitive would be a split decision.
You want to do a pie bet that it goes a distance?
Let's go. Let's do a pie bet that it goes to a split
distance.
decision.
Let's do a pie bet.
Split
that
decision because you say it's going to be competitive. I'm saying it's not going to be competitive at all.
Okay, so if it's not going to be competitive, then he's going to knock him out, right?
If it's no, not necessarily. It could be a 120 to 109.
Eric. See, he knows it's going to be competitive. He knows it's going to be competitive.
I'm willing to bet that it's not going to be competitive.
So bet me it doesn't go the distance.
Bet me it's going to be a split
You're
decision.
afraid. He's afraid. Yeah,
I'm
Beef
afraid.
wins. I already won the bet. You might as well just stick the pie in your face right now. You've already
Beeb
already-
wins.
he just won.
Oh my goodness!
Do a poll in the chat. Did Beeb win that exchange?
All right, AMG. We're gonna get moving here. We're gonna go to Jason 706. 706, you're live.
There's nowhere this fight can be approved. This is like a disgrace to boxing. Come on.
Thank you.
We can't let this fight get
What's
approved.
worse, this fight or Tank's fight?
This fight.
This fight's worse than
by
Tank's
a
fight?
mile. Yes.
No way.
Yes, by a mile.
Truth
And
is,
and truth be told, I didn't like Tank's fight. I didn't like the Barrios fight. I didn't think it. I didn't like that at all.
Look who
But
he's
there's no
fighting now.
difference in what Tank's doing.
Barrios is a badass.
There's no
Barrios is
difference
a
in what
badass.
he's
Come on.
doing
Barrios is a
versus
badass.
what Canelo's
the guy
doing.
that Tank's fighting, right, can't even go on certain rides at amusement parks. That's how short he is.
Yeah, he's a small guy. Yeah,
Right?
I don't like that. That
Dude,
fight
guy-
is ridiculous.
Hey, Beef. That guy knocked out Jesse Magdaleno faster than Teofimo did.
So
and before
what?
Lomachenko, Magdaleno was Teofimo's best win. Okay, so what are
Yeah,
you talking
Magdaleno
about?
was under the
People
weather,
are
though. You
really
can't
talking
count that
about
one.
it.
Magdaleno was under the weather.
Talking about, dude.
You remember that, right?
You remember this fight,
Magdaleno-
cruising tank. You like that fight? You like that fight?
Teofimo doing backflips right after he knocked out Magdaleno.
He does
You remember,
backflips all the
Teofimo doing
time.
Backflips after he knocked out Magdaleno. So what? This guy knocked him out faster, and he's getting the shot. What's wrong with that? Canelo
Was that
fought
before or
Gilbert.
after
Canelo
Teofimo
fought
got him?
Rocky Fielding. These
Was
guys
that
are
before or after
fucking
Teofimo?
Yeah.
Was that before or after Teofimo?
What?
Was it
It's
before?
after Teofimo.
There you go.
I just said it's after Teofimo.
All right, so that doesn't mean anything then, because he's already been knocked out, son.
What do you mean it doesn't mean anything?
Just what I said.
Well, Tang knocked out Pedraza, and Lomachenko went the distance with him after. So what does that mean? What does that tell us then? Go ahead, tell me.
Say that again. What?
Tell me. Lomachenko went the distance with Pedraza, the same Pedraza that Tang knocked out in 7 rounds. So what does that say about Lomachenko?
What do you mean? What does it say about? It? Doesn't mean anything.
If you want to play that game, it does means a lot. Lomachenko's face was all busted up after he fought fucking went the distance with Pedraza.
I think this is a much tougher challenge. This is a much
I'm about to call fucking
tougher
Canada
challenge
Vegas. We
than
can't let
Tank's
this fight
fight.
be allowed. Dude,
This may be Canelo's toughest fight to date right now.
I don't think this is a tougher challenge. You know what? Is this a tougher challenge than Barrios? No. 100%.
I think it is.
Hell, And Makabu, dude,
Tank went up 5 pounds. Canelo's going up 22 pounds.
You know what I think is funny is neither one of us has seen this guy fight. I just recently saw him fight like in the last 2 minutes, and he got starched.
You don't remember Bellew knocking him out?
Wasn't even close.
Bellew knocked him out cold. Dude.
Wasn't even. It was cold.
Yeah.
He was out on the ropes.
It was a lucky shot. Come on.
No, it was. He was
guys
beating
notice,
the
like,
snot out of him.
It was a lucky shot.
Right after David Benavidez, dude. Hey,
Bellew was way behind.
Right
in the
after
fight.
David Benavidez.
It was 3 rounds.
They announced his bullshit.
He was way behind. It was
Way
3
behind. You needed that knockout, or you would have lost.
They're trying to
Oh,
fucking.
my God.
They're trying to blackball David Benavidez. You know, David Benavidez should have been gotten this fight.
Now,
But as soon
Breadman.
as he has a good weekend, good fucking.
I don't think so. Now, Breadman did have a point. He said Canelo's very smart because he's going to go up in weight. He's going to fight this guy, and in that way, nobody's going to hit the lottery. He's going to force like the best in that division to fight the best in that division to get a shot at him,
Smart about
not the other way around.
I hope PBC doesn't pay for this garbage.
Nobody's
This shit-
paying.
this shit going to zone.
Son, nobody's. Yeah, I don't even know that it goes there.
Hey, also, guys, remember before the fucking Canelo Plant fight, you guys were saying it won't sell more than 500,000 pay-per-views. It said 800,000 pay-per-views. So do you guys want to eat the fucking crow?
We already
Obviously,
did.
PBC and Heyman.
We
Yeah,
already did.
I said.
We already did. I said
said
300. Beef said 500.
I said 500. Yeah, this totally exceeded my expectations. I'm very happy. What do you want me to say,
I know.
Jason? What do you want me to say to make you happy, honey? What do you need? What do you need,
PBC
honey?
and Showtime.
What do you want, sweetie? What do you want me to say for you? What do you want me to say to you?
Showtime know how to do big events. That's what you gotta say.
Oh,
Heyman knows how to do big events. That's it.
Did Al Heyman give you an extra 20 for doing his laundry?
No, Eddie's. I mean,
He said
was
no.
always
He said he
fucking
kept
off
it for
Eddie
himself.
does like fucking $10 million gigs. and shit. Eddie's never even done like a $20 million gig, you know, or like a $20 million fucking fight in America. BBC does $100 million fights like every year with like Logan Paul and Floyd, Wilder Fury, Canelo now. See, that's
Can
what
I
PBC
say one
does.
thing, Jason?
People don't give people any credit. You know?
Can I say one thing, Jason?
Yeah, what?
This is gonna sound this is
Go
gonna
ahead.
sound extremely stupid, but there's something special.
Go ahead.
There's something special about an event. Oh, listen. There's
Oh,
there's
my
something
God.
special about an event when it's on pay-per-view. You have like pay-per-view parties.
Yeah, because who doesn't like
Right.
to pay for fights?
like I will
Who
say,
doesn't like to sell out $80
I know
a pop?
it sounds ridiculous, right?
Yes,
but I will
yes,
tell
it
you
does.
this.
Dude, Pete,
I will tell
it
you
gives it
this.
a certain prestige. It
These
gives it a certain
casual
prestige,
fans,
you know? It gives it a
these
certain
casual
prestige,
fans
just like
don't have the DAZN app. They don't. None of my friends that know Canelo,
Hey,
they don't have
everybody
the
in the
DAZN app.
chat, hit the motherfucking like button.
Come on, guys, hit the like button. Let's get those likes
Canelo-
up.
Fight was being
Canelo may
promoted.
never go back to the
Sports
zone.
and
I
all
bet
that
you.
shit, know?
I bet you Canelo may never go back to the zone. I bet you he does. He start. Think about it. Think about it.
Eddie
He'll
was
probably-
at the after party creeping and shit, you know? Eddie was at the after party hugging Canelo, remember?
Yeah.
He was trying to bring Canelo back. Yeah. So you never know for this kind of fight, why not let him go to the zone and we can bring him back for Benavidez maybe next year. That's what we should do. Dude, but it's kind of fucked up how Benavidez has a good fucking fight and right the next day they just announced this and kill his goal.
Is it Better
Kill his
Biev
goal
a top
momentum.
rank
I don't know,
guy?
like, they're gonna do that.
Better Biev's in top rank now, right? Better Biev
I thought so.
and
Yeah, he's a top,
Bivol.
he's a top rank, but
Bivol's on the
Bivol
zone,
is with
right?
fucking-
Bivol's on the zone.
yeah. But he
I would have
doesn't
rather
fight,
seen
you know,
him
like,
fight
he's
one of
like
those
retired like
guys.
Jacobs and Mikey. But
I'm
have you
gonna
guys
be-
noticed how Mikey, Jacobs, fucking all these guys are just retired now? Like Jacobs is retired. It seems like Mikey's retired.
Is Jacobs
Jesse Martin's
retired?
running for office, like Eddie,
Did Jacobs retire?
seems like it.
Is Mikey retired?
Mikey
Feels like
retired?
it.
He don't know. He's just talking.
He just came back for one fight after 2 years, man. Like that is kind of retired, isn't it? Kind of like Thurman,
So
Kind of like Gary
basically-
Russell.
like the Thurman
Yeah.
thing, you know.
He's not
Gary
retired. He
Russell at
just
least fights once
fought,
a year.
and he's talking about fighting once.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think
This-
you know what
this-
you're talking about, dude.
This was a huge
PB
win.
Bush.
Let me just say this. The Canelo Plant fight was a huge win for PBC and because for them to go up against UFC and still do the 800,000
Yeah,
pay-per-view buys.
I
And
agree.
also
That was a
this guy
that was a tough card too.
Hey guys, that's the undercard of UFC was way better, and they didn't even release the UFC numbers, so that just tells you everything you need to know. And Canelo and
Yeah, I
Dana
didn't see the
White was
UFC
watching
numbers
the
anywhere.
Canelo part fucking ringside. Did you see Dana White was watching Canelo's fight?
He was watching.
ringside,
Yep.
so that
Yeah, I
tells
saw
everything
that.
need
Did
to
you
know.
watch the epilogue I love what Canelo did. I love what Canelo did at the end of the fight. He walked up to him and he said, he goes, I'm sorry for everything. Like he went out and he said, I'm sorry for everything. And then Plant says to him, I'm so sad right now. And then he like grabbed him and he held him. And
it's good sportsmanship, man.
I'm gonna be honest with you. And then when I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what Plant said something, and I fucking bawled. I just started crying when he said this, right? He goes, this is what he said. He goes, I didn't mean the motherfucker the way you thought I did. He goes, I lost my mother. And right then and there, I started crying because I don't have my mother either. And it just kind of like clicked. And I just fucking started crying, man. That was great. That whole sequence at the end, man.
Yeah.
That was great.
Dude,
I love Canelo after that.
Doesn't have any fans and stuff. BBC and Fox have been promoting Plant for like 3 years. They did a documentary on his life on fucking primetime Fox and shit.
Yeah.
So he had a lot of fans. His fight did like 2 million views on Fox. So he was a name, you know? He wasn't a nobody. People just didn't know about him. Like in the boxing Twitter, they thought he was a nobody. And,
Who? Plant?
Yeah, so hopefully.
Jordan Plant.
No.
Jordan Plant is beautiful, but the way she looked on fight night, she looked like a goddess. That dress and the way she did her hair and everything.
Take it easy. Take it easy. That's a guy's wife.
I'm just saying.
Take it easy.
I'm giving the guy props, man. I'm giving the guy props.
Take it easy.
I'm giving him props.
Right? Put your pants back on.
Think I'm going to hate like you hate?
Can I say one thing?
Sure you can, Jason. You can say a lot of things.
I just want to go through the Tank undercard real quick. Guys, let me go through the Tank undercard. Did you hear about this? Derevyanchenko versus Adames. That's a really fucking good fight. That's going to be like a war. Have you heard about that fight? Derevyanchenko Adames. Then Fundora versus Sergio Garcia. That's another top 10 versus top 10 fight.
So that undercard sucks. Fights, you know? If you're paying that much money, that undercard sucks, son. No, it's not the undercard of the year. It's not the fight card of the year either.
It is.
Jason,
shut up.
Jason, is Tank your favorite fighter?
Dude, you think he's rubbing his shoulders every 24/7?
Who's your favorite fighter right now in boxing, Jason?
Dude, did you guys notice? Hey, let me ask you this. Did you notice the Shakur Stevenson fight? How empty that fucking arena was compared to what Tank and Barrios did? Tank and Barrios pulled that shit out.
I don't know, man. Shakur Stevenson's bad though.
Why do you think the Shakur Stevenson sucks? He's fucking horrible.
He sucks. He's horrible. Okay.
Did he just say Shakur Stevenson sucks?
Yeah, he said he sucks. Yeah.
Tank would have knocked out Herring in like 2 fucking rounds. Come on, dude.
I'm going to
pick put him away, so it doesn't matter.
I would pick Shakur Stevenson over Tank.
Absolutely. Easy.
I think he beats Tank.
Dude, even fucking Shakur said Tank would be a toughest fight. So all these guys know what Tank is.
What?
They know Tank better than you.
Who cares?
Whatever.
Can I ask you a question, Jason? Can I ask you a question, Jason? Can I ask you a question?
Let me tell you. Ask Lomachenko what his dream fight is, and he'll tell you. Tank.
Just ask him.
They all want that Tank payday for a reason.
Let me ask you this question, Jason. Don't you think if Tank continues to fight this level of opposition, don't you think he may decline a little bit?
What level? Like what level?
Doesn't? But do you agree?
Like George Kambosos or George Diaz?
Do you
agree? Cruz.
George Diaz level or George Kambosos level? Which level?
Well, he never fought Lomachenko. Like Teofimo Lopez fought Lomachenko.
So what?
Richard Comey.
He knocked out Pedraza. He knocked out Leo Santa Cruz, a 4-time world champion. Now Leo Santa Cruz is more accomplished than any of these fucking kids. Any of them. He's more accomplished than any of them.
But don't you think steel sharpens steel? But don't you think steel sharpens steel? And after a while, if you continue to fight the same level of opposition and you don't increase the level of opposition, do you think a guy like that can get better?
But you're acting like Shakur and Haney are fighting each other, or Ryan's fighting each other. They're not fighting each other. They're just waiting around and calling Tank, and they're not doing anything, are they? So you guys say, "Oh, Canelo's fighting everybody. Why are they waiting for Canelo?"
You don't think Jojo Diaz? You don't think Jojo Diaz is a good fighter? You don't think Jojo Diaz is a good fighter?
Jojo Diaz got the fucking shit kicked out of him by Gary Russell like 2 years ago on PBC. Okay,
it was a majority decision. It was a majority decision. You got to draw on one of the cards.
That's a PBC. That's a PBC.
It was a majority decision.
PBC leftover picked up cherry. That's a PBC cherry.
Much better fighter at 135 too. He was drained. He was drained in that fight.
There you go.
Didn't he miss weight by like 4 pounds like last fight or 2 fights ago, and he almost lost the last fight?
Hey, Jason.
Remember?
Jason.
He almost lost his last fight.
Jason, that Tank fight sucks.
Didn't he? Huh?
I said that Tank fight sucks.
Dude, Cruz would beat the fuck out of Jojo Diaz. That's what I know. That's all I know.
I don't think you know that.
Cruz would beat the fuck out of Diaz.
I'm pretty sure you don't know
I
that.
think we know that.
I'm pretty sure you don't know that.
Gary
Dude,
Russell won
Jojo
that
Diaz
fight.
is like a drunk. Jojo Diaz is like
Pretty
a drunk.
sure
who
you
shows up to
don't
fight, like
know
4
that.
pounds over the weight.
Pretty
Jojo
sure
Diaz
you
showed up to
don't.
a fucking weighing scale 4 pounds over the limit.
Yeah.
When does that happen?
All right, why don't you go take a shower with Tank? We're going to go ahead and move on here, son. 718, area code 718, you're live.
Tell him, Maestro. Tell him.
Yo, Maestro.
Come on, Maestro. You can't tell me you like this fight.
I actually like the fight, Eric.
Oh, stop it.
I like the fight.
Come on, man. We're always on the same page, Maestro. You're ruining it.
Because while I was waiting, I might dip out because while I was waiting on all that, I jumped on the train. So I might call back after. But look, what I'm going to say for now is this. Eric, you know damn well that if he announced the Charlo fight, he'd be all over. Are you telling me that this is less competitive than Jermall Charlo?
100%.
Who just literally went life and death with Mafia?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, it's less competitive.
No.
Yes.
It's definitely not.
And not only that, it's a bigger fight.
There's a lot, I'll be honest, there's a lot of, look, there's a lot of U.S. bias in this one, man. Because it's a guy from Congo, and by the way, you're letting down all your Congolese listeners right now. That's number one. Your numbers might plummet after this. So
That's not true because I'm an Ndongo fan.
You might have a lot of fans out there. Uh-huh. I'm not the call back, guys, because I think my reception is going. My apologies.
All right, no problem, man. No
I'll call
problem.
back when I get off the train.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, who said somebody in the chat? I just saw this. Where's it at? Yeah, Gogoruga says that Galahad was back in the gym on Monday with no time off to recover. That's a bad move if that's true. That is a bad move.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Troy Smoke-Alarm says Charlo went life and death with Montiel. Again, I don't care. It's a better matchup than what we're going to see there. Just is. So you wouldn't want to see David Benavidez and Canelo?
That's my favorite fight, to be honest with you.
Bivol Canelo?
I'd rather
better beef Canelo.
I like.
It's not even a cruiserweight.
This is the next. If I can't get David Benavidez, this is the next best thing in my opinion.
It's not even for the cruiserweight. So now you're going to make this guy cut 10 pounds and fight you for the cruiserweight belt. This is like shades of Ray Leonard, Donnie Lalonde, man. This is awful. It really is. And I like Canelo. I think he's the pound for pound, and I think he's the best fighter. I think he's the best fighter pound for pound right now. I don't even think you can dispute that. But this, I mean, come on, man. This isn't even for what? You know? If you wanted to call it a tune-up fight, call it a tune-up fight.
Yeah. I don't know. But here's the thing. You may not like this fight, but after this fight, don't you think you're going to like the next fight? He always gives you, like you want Benavidez, you want Charlo, you want Bivol, you want Better Beef. You don't think eventually you're going to get those fights? Canelo, history has shown us that Canelo will give you the fights you want. We wanted the Golovkin fight, we got it. We wanted the Lara fight, we got it. We wanted the Mayweather fight, we got it. You know, he fought Trout. So, he always does step up and fight the fights that we want him to fight.
What was Roy Jones was 175, 85, 95, 205. Roy Jones went up about 35 pounds. And I think what did he weigh? 218 for that fight?
He weighed 193 for that fight, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And he had pockets. They said he had stuff in his pockets too.
That's Ray Leonard. That was Ray Leonard.
Was it Ray? I thought it was Roy Jones as well.
No, it wasn't Roy Jones. Right.
Okay. So 75, 85, 95. Yeah. So he weighed 193. So he went up, 18 pounds? Canelo's going up 20 pounds.
22
pounds. So maybe he goes up 20 pounds, whatever he decides to weigh in or whatever. You know what's messed up, man, is that, I wonder if he gets that Roy Jones syndrome when he comes back down, where that weight is just too tough to cut anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what's interesting to me is that second fight after this. This fight's not going to be interesting because this will be a cakewalk for him. But yeah, man, I think that that's going to be interesting is to see his fight after this. And to see, well, where does he go? Does he go to 175? Does he go back down to 168? There's really no reason for him to go back down to 168.
In my opinion, will he'll weigh for this fight? I'm guessing he may weigh like 180 pounds for this fight, right? Maybe 180, 182 or something like that.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna blow up to 190. I think he's gonna weigh about 180.
AHDZ says that Canelo's due for a cherry pick. He just unified. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Listen, I get it. But I think because you're so used to seeing Canelo fight really like top guys, top opposition, man, Callum Smith, Caleb Plant, top guys in those divisions, that this is just a bit of a letdown.
But I mean, the size, the 6 feet, the 74.5-inch reach.
How big was Callum Smith? How tall was Callum Smith?
6'3".
We've seen it before. You know what I mean?
But this guy, when he rehydrates, could possibly be on fight night a heavyweight. He's going to be a heavyweight.
That's not going to do him any good anyway.
It's going to be a heavyweight.
If he puts that much weight back on, that's not going to do him any good.
Well, how much do cruiserweights walk around at? 220, 225?
Maybe. Yeah. I would say 220. What do you figure? The average fighter, I guess it depends on what weight he's at.
The average fighter is losing
20 pounds.
Is losing 15 to 20 pounds. At least 15.
At least 15.
So if he gets
Canelo's
190,
168, 78. You know what I mean?
Canelo's probably 180 come fight night. I think Canelo will come into this fight at 180.
So 180, 185, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you, man, like I said, it's just disappointing. It is. It's just disappointing now. Tony Ayo says it's the cruiserweight limit 190 now. It isn't the WBC. Everywhere else it's 200. Nobody has changed their stance on the cruiserweight except for the WBC. Why, you ask? Well, you know, you follow the money, you tell me. You know why it's 190 now.
Yeah, just like
Caesar says that he's no cherry, he's a legit champion. He is. He's a champion, okay, because he won the belt. But why not? If you're looking to chase your legacy, you're looking to test yourself, test your medal against the best. Maris Bradis is up there. Lawrence Okoli's up there. Why not fight one of those guys? Because because he's not.
You know, the talented. WBO and the IBF will not give him permission to do that.
Sure, they would.
They're not like the WBC. The WBC
though,
is all about making. Go ahead.
Seriously, would you? That would much better fights. No.
Yeah, they'd be tougher fights.
Much tougher fights than this guy.
I'm not so sure how good Lawrence Okoli is though. But Bradis is definitely established.
And you're right. I don't know how good Lawrence Okoli is, but that would be worth it to find out. Hey, wait a minute here, because this is a big guy. He's undefeated. He's got knockout power. This guy, his only big time fight was against Tony Bellew, and he was knocked out on the ropes, like unconscious.
It was a fluke punch.
It was a lot of fluke punches. It was a lot of fluke punches. Go watch that fight. You know, that I think that's where it falls on me. And again, man, I like Canelo. I like I said, I like Canelo. Doesn't mean I don't like Canelo because I don't like this choice. You know, I do. I like Canelo, but I don't like this at all. I think this is ridiculous. This is like taking a kid's lunch money at school when you're, you know, a senior and the other kid's a ninth grader or something like that. This is not, you know. AHDZ says Roy Jones didn't go up and fight the best heavyweight. No, he didn't. No. But he fought at least an established heavyweight who had fought some really good guys, defended his belt. Who's this guy fought? He hasn't fought anybody. He's fought nobody. The only guy he's fought, again, he was starched in 3 rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the brass tacks of it. So.
Yeah.
The only guy this guy's ever fought, he got starched in 3 rounds.
Unfortunately, because of what you're doing right now, everyone's going to go to YouTube and watch him get knocked out, and they may be disinterested in the fight because of you.
They should be. They absolutely should.
But I want you to watch it closely. He was giving Bellew hell for 3 rounds before he got caught.
You didn't even see the fight, babe.
Watch it live, actually. Watch it live.
You're full of it.
I actually got credentialed for that fight. They flew me out. They flew me out there.
They put you up in a flat and everything.
I was there, man. I was there. I was there. Row F, seat 7.
Row F.
I was there. Row F, seat 7.
Row F, huh? Yeah, row F. They credentialed you for row F. They credentialed you for row F.
Row F, seat 7.
Row F, huh? Yeah, okay.
I was wearing a black shirt that day, similar to the one I'm wearing right now. Not the same one, though, of course.
Oh my goodness! Why don't you just go up and fight for the Latino heavyweight belt and become a 5-6 division champion while we're at it? Why not? Why don't we wait? Louis Ortiz and Prince Charles are going to fight. Why don't you just take the winner of them?
Well, I mean,
if Prince Charles wins, why don't you go fight him?
If you think about it, if you think about it, man,
he's too good to cherry pick, especially at this stage of his career. That's what I'm saying. He's too good.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rate this fight?
0. 0.0. 100%. If it's on pay, I'm not watching it. Even if it's on DAZN, I might not watch it. That's where we are.
You hate this fight, huh?
I hate it. It's awful.
I'm shocked at the level of hate you have for this fight.
It's not competitive. It's not a competitive fight. It's against a guy, like I said, if, he's too good to be cherry picking fights now. He's just too good for that. He's too good. Too good of a fighter. This is beneath him. It really is. Yeah. So Canelo should seek the next Border Wars championship belt.
So you hate this fight?
Yeah.
Very
absolutely.
Sad.
Absolutely.
Very sad.
Marion Brown would rate it a 7. I would rate it a -7. Like I said, man, do you think, hasn't he, sometimes when you move up like this, you move up into a point in your career where you are considered the best now. This doesn't prove anything.
Well, let me ask you this.
And AMG says it's a history books. Is it, like I said, is taking a belt off of this guy, does it really say anything about it?
Well, let me ask you this. Will you call Canelo a 5-weight champion after this?
Yeah, you have to call him a 5-weight champion. Because he is a 5-weight champion. It's
Will
legit.
there be an asterisk next to it?
I'll tell you what.
Will people remember that?
I think there will be. You know what? Listen, maybe not, but I think there may be an asterisk given the fact that the fight is taking place at 190 versus 200 pounds. Axiom says Canelo versus Makabu is the biggest cruiserweight bout of all time. There you go.
Well, let me ask you this.
Axiom has spoken, baby.
Will this be the highest
He says it. I agree. What's that?
Will this be the highest grossing cruiserweight title fight of all time from a monetary standpoint?
I don't remember any of them being on pay-per-view. It depends on where it takes place. I think it depends on where it takes place.
How much money do you think this fight will generate? And if it is on pay-per-view, how many pay-per-view buys do you think this one does?
300.
And do you think it's tough to pick these
300. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough because people tune in to see Canelo.
People
you know what
like
I mean? They
this
don't
guy,
care
bro.
who he's fighting. Yeah, they do.
They like this guy. And judging by how when you buy a Canelo fight, he's gonna give you your money's worth. He's gonna give you a great entertaining performance.
I would be more interested to see how much they are going to make. How much is Canelo going to make? How much is Makabu going to make?
Well, Makabu's got to take this fight, man.
Listen, I don't blame him at all. And I think he's probably doing backflips because he hit the lottery.
If you were him, would you take this fight?
Of course.
Got to take it, right?
Yeah, heck
it's a no-brainer, right?
Because if he does well, if he does marginally well, his stock goes through the roof, and he'll get another big money fight. And if he gets blown out like I expect he will, take his ball and go home. Who cares? He already made money.
Canelo's going to make $20 million, this guy says. AMG says.
Caesar says, would Benavidez be praised more if he did this move? I don't think anybody would care.
No.
I don't think anybody would care. I mean, really, I think it's a non-story.
Do you think Benavidez has a shot to beat Canelo?
Yeah, I think so. I thought Plant had a shot to beat Canelo. I thought Callum Smith had a shot to beat Canelo. Yeah.
Who would be Canelo's toughest fight? Would it have to be at one? Like, who is a tougher fight for Canelo, Bivol or Benavidez? Because both Bivol and Beterbiev, they didn't look great in their last fights.
They're both really good, though.
They're both good, though. Yeah,
Beterbiev. You talking about Beterbiev and Canelo, or Beterbiev and or Bivol or Benavidez? Which one would be the best fight out of those three?
Which one's tougher?
Man, I tell you what. Power-wise, I think you had to go to Beterbiev. Skill-wise, I think it's either Bivol or Benavidez. Any one of those three are better fights than this one.
Benavidez has a style that would present a very entertaining fight. Be a great fight to watch.
And not to mention, how much more money could he make by fighting Charlo, Benavidez, Bivol, Beterbiev? You know what I mean? He can make a lot more money than fighting this guy.
Absolutely.
You know, and I mean, again, if does he fight this guy at 200 pounds? No, you're going to make him cut 10 pounds.
Yeah, it's not fair to this guy. He just won.
I don't think it's fair either. He's defended his title. He's won his title at 200. He's defended it at 200. Now he's got to drop 10 pounds down. That doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense at all.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Area code 508. 508, you're live.
Hey, yo, what's happening, people?
Georgie, fresh out of solitaire.
Lucky.
What's happening?
Nigga, I'd be working, B. Listen, who the fuck is this guy again, Eric?
Makabu. Iluno Makabu. Yeah, I am. Yeah, who?
Who the fuck is that guy? Listen, Canelo going for that historic shit like the other caller said, baby, because at the end of the day, his name gonna be named in history. You know the truth, I know the truth, even Beeb know the truth, but at the end of the day, our opinion is gonna mean nothing in those record books. The only thing gonna appear there is gonna be Canelo's name defeating this man in another fucking, fucking conquering another division sort of fucking line.
I mean, this is a great fight.
I think that the right is there. Go ahead.
Beeb says this is a great fight.
I know. Listen, but don't you guys think that he's setting all this shit? I think Usyk gonna beat AJ again. Who's Usyk with? You think that after fucking Canelo fucking take care of this guy, that maybe he's really looking forward to that Usyk fight?
I thought the same thing. I got to be honest. When I heard this and I heard he was moving up, I kind of thought the same thing. Like, is he eyeing a Roy? Is he going to pull a Roy Jones? An iron heavyweight? But I don't think he could beat. I don't think he could beat any heavyweight out there, though. Any heavyweight titleist right now. He can't. He's not going to beat Fury. I don't think he definitely doesn't beat Usyk. Usyk boxes way too well.
I know, baby, but just to get there. You know what I'm saying? Just to get there. Then you got to fight that, okay, he's really the underdog. Then you're going to rally mad people behind you because you really trying to accomplish the impossible there. This fight here and that, this is like another fucking stepping stone. But I think at the end of the day, that's the plan, bro. hoping for Usyk to win. Like, who's managing Usyk? Can that can that happen? Canelo being a free agent and shit, can that happen?
How tall is Usyk? How tall is Usyk, Beeb?
6'3".
Sean Porter beat Usyk. Did you know that?
In the amateurs, yeah.
Yeah, he
crazy.
beat it. Isn't that crazy?
Fucking crazy, bro.
How nutty is that, right?
Sean Porter used to fight. Used to fight 165 pounds in the amateurs.
What's the real chances of that?
Chances of
What's the real chances of that fight happening?
Usyk and Canelo?
Canelo Usyk?
And Canelo. Yeah.
Nah,
I think very slim. To be
Yeah,
perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, he's not going up there, son.
He's not
Because
gonna
of
fight him.
management, that's why you guys think that? Because of management?
No, I just think that
I think Canelo's
too big of
smart
a
enough
guy,
to know
man.
he can't go
Yeah.
up to heavyweight.
Yeah, he ain't fighting that guy, man.
Dude,
That's
that's the plan. You guys don't see it, but watch it. But watch it like 6 months from now where the fucking start gonna be. Watch it. I don't have a lot to say, guys. You know, shout out to you guys. Shout out to all the callers, all the fucking people watching the show. Remember to support, hit the thumbs up, all that good stuff. Train your balls and support the channel. Come out.
This is a great fight, man. You guys got to get behind it, man. Don't be a hater. Don't piss all over it like Eric, man. Eric doesn't respect history, man.
Son. Axiom had a good Axiom. This might be the tweet of the day here, man. He said he might go after the Bridgerweight. That would make him a 6. Now, would that make him a 6th division?
Probably, yeah.
I know technically it would.
Technically, yes.
But, yeah, why don't we just
Think
keep
about
making up
this.
divisions?
Think about this. Canelo will probably enter the ring. He'll probably weigh in at 180 pounds. This guy will weigh in at 190. So he's already given up.
I think he weighs in about 185 for this. I don't think he cuts weight or whatever. I think it's about 185. I think he puts on muscle. And my thing is that muscle is going to be more difficult to get off.
Yeah,
That's what I worry about is this next fight after this, not really this fight.
We got to learn from history. We remember when Roy Jones did this. And then when he came back down, it didn't serve him well, did it?
No, he lost. He beat Antonio Tarver. They rematched. He got knocked out. Then he fought Glenn Johnson, got knocked out again. And that was pretty much his career, man.
That was it, right?
That was it. 760-760, you're live.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? What's going on?
What's happening?
Eric, don't even think about hanging the phone up.
Get him,
Come
baby.
on, man. I know you.
He blocked Coach C. He blocked Coach C.
I blocked Coach C.
Okay.
I decimated Coach C. He hasn't even been seen from. He's on a milk carton somewhere, son.
You blocked him.
The Don says, thank you so much for the Don. Don says, Eric, don't be on the wrong side of history. Hey, if the Don says it, I got to go with it. You know what I mean?
All right, let Brian burn. Let him take you to school for a couple minutes.
For
go ahead, Brian.
what?
Yeah, let me.
Yeah,
let me
you go ahead and take me to school. Tell me what a great fight this is, Brian.
Come on, man.
Tell me what a great fight this is.
Before you get ready to hang up on me, Eric, stop playing. Hey, look, man, look. Beeb, I was all for it when they said Canelo gonna fight. What's his name? Makabu.
Smackaboo.
Makabu.
Don't disrespect the guy's name, please.
Yeah. I was all in. I was like, this dude's a cruiserweight. Canelo moving up. But man, ever since I've been listening to Eric, I'm like, hold up, this is some bullshit. Is this a cherry pick? I'm starting to feel what Eric's talking about.
Go to YouTube and watch this fight. Go watch this Bellew fight, man. I'm telling you, it's a complete cherry pick, son.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do that. Steve was saying that. I said I'm gonna definitely look this guy up right after I hang up. Let's see what this dude is about.
Tony Bellew went life and death.
Bold in that fight, son.
Tony Bellew went life and death with him.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, okay.
That was a close fight up until that was
man,
a close
fight.
Knocking
your guy out on the ropes, life and death, and he went life and death with him.
Man.
I think Makabu went life and death. Maybe that was it.
Hey, you guys brought up a good point about Roy Jones, how he moved up and how he dropped that weight, and it wasn't good for him once he moved back down. I didn't think about that till you guys brought that up. That could
Eric doesn't think of things like
that.
I was the one that mentioned it. I was the one that mentioned it.
You're definitely right about that because it might be something to hurt him, but why is he fighting this dude? I mean, I get it. The dude got a belt, but dang, it's still fights down there, man. You know?
So you don't like this fight, Brian? You don't like this fight?
Nobody likes this fight.
Brian, you don't like this fight?
I mean, it's not that I don't like it.
You made Tony Bellew do a backflip when he knocked him down so hard.
Yeah.
Go back and watch how we knocked Tony Bellew down. Made him do a backflip.
Go back and watch a third round of that fight. Let me know what you think.
I gotta see this
punch,
fight,
man.
I definitely gotta check this out after I hang up.
He got paced. I thought he died on the ropes, man. He got hit so hard. He got hit flush, dude.
It was the luckiest punch I've ever seen. It was the luckiest punch I've ever seen.
He was still standing up when the ref jumped in. He just fell.
I never saw such a lucky punch in my life, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
He hit him with a couple of lucky punches, son.
Ref stopped that fight way too early, too, man.
You know, this dude Makabu. I mean, out of all the dudes that really want to get at Canelo, it's kind of like, man, why is he fighting this dude out of the other dudes?
That's my point.
Still got guys over there, man.
I mean, this is history.
Out of all the guys you could have fought, this is the guy.
Don't you guys respect history, please?
Not like this, no. No, you want history? Fight Lawrence Okoli, like fight Mers Bradis. And fight him at 200 pounds. That's history. Fight him at 200 pounds.
But yeah. But listen, man. Look. I rock with Canelo. Okay, I don't think it don't matter who Canelo fight. He's gonna beat him, man. This dude is a G. He's gonna beat anybody.
So you think he beats Mers Bradis?
You guys name it. Canelo can beat him.
Maybe.
Who did you say? You think Benavidez can beat him? Canelo?
You think, Beeb? You think Benavidez could beat him? I think that's a good fight.
I don't think he can. I used to think he could give him a good fight, but I don't think so. I really analyzed the styles. I don't think he can.
I mean, Charlo.
He could.
Anybody,
but I don't
man,
think. I wouldn't predict him to.
Yeah, Gorgoruga says that Makabu's been inactive for a year also.
That's nothing. Come on.
Oh,
yeah, okay.
Yeah, man, I'm glad I tuned in today.
This is a great fight, man. This is a great fight. It's a pick 'em.
This might be a good fight, but man, you guys done broke it down, man. This is some bullshit.
It's a pick 'em fight.
It is. Last time he fought was December of 2020.
This is a pick 'em fight.
And he won't fight again till May.
God.
And he won't fight again till May?
That's crazy. Wow.
This is a pick 'em fight, in my opinion.
Oh my goodness.
No,
but
it's not a pick 'em fight.
I'm gonna tune in. Eric, you said you're gonna protest against this fight. I ain't watching it.
I'm not.
What?
You're
gonna be sitting by Robbie.
Eric's gonna watch it. Him and Robbie, they act all tough. They act all tough. They get on this soapbox. They get on this soapbox, and they're the first people in line. Cut it out.
HDZ says Makabu's got a fight on January.
Sitting beside each other, like, man, let's just order it, man. Just order it.
I tell you what, if this is on pay, I'm gonna tell you right now, if this is on pay, I'm not buying it, son.
You'll buy it.
No way. 100%. That's a hard. I
don't think they will put this as a pay-per-view. I don't think this.
If they're smart, they won't put it as a pay-per-view. No.
They are. Okay.
No way.
Put it on the zone. You know, it's not that bad of a matchup. If this considered to be a tune-up, because Canelo did just unify. I mean, if this is just a tune-up for him, then
yeah.
Cool,
somebody in the chat mentioned that, but I mean,
kind of like
I don't know.
It's still kind of like a pointless tune-up, especially if it, you know, in the long run, if it hurts him like how it hurt Roy Jones, and he wants to move back down to get a money fight. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a good point you guys brought up. How is he going to do afterwards?
I brought that point up, Brian.
Oh, you brought it up?
In Beeb's face.
That was Beeb. Whoever brought it up, it's a good point.
It's a great point, wasn't it?
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, really, if he does move up
Beeb,
now.
I think Eric got you today, Beeb. He's getting
rolled Beeb, son.
Eric's on it, man.
Rolled him up like Makabu got rolled up in that third round, son. You was laying on the ropes.
Brian, you know what the problem you is?
Son.
Brian, you know what the problem?
Chin checking you, son.
Brian, you know what the problem
chin
is?
checking you, son. You wasn't doing nothing. You was laying on the ropes, boy.
Brian, you know what your problem
You
is?
got hammered.
Brian, you know what your problem is? You're very impressionable. Don't listen to this guy.
What's that?
Very impressionable.
You're very impressionable.
He said you can't think
Don't
for
be
yourself,
swayed.
Brian.
Don't be
That's
swayed
what
by
he
this
said.
guy.
He said
Don't be
you
swayed
can't
by
think
this
for
guy.
yourself.
Right, man.
Oh, that's cold blood, Brian. I would have
Don't-
never did you like that.
Don't be swayed by this guy, please.
I'll just say I'm not.
Don't let him manipulate you like
Be
that.
that excited about the fight.
You're
I'm
gonna let
not
him
gonna be
manipulate
too
you like
excited
that?
about the fight, but I'll watch it.
You're gonna buy it, Brian. Come
What
on.
you say?
The last dude, Brian, last
Yeah,
dude he
I'm gonna get it.
fought
Oh, yeah.
a year ago
I'm not
was
gonna be a-
34-7.
Like Eric.
34-7.
Who? The dude, Makabu?
Yep. The last guy he fought was
That's his
34-7. No. The last guy he fought was 34-7.
Oh, okay.
Look at the
What's
guys
his
on
record?
his record. Look at the guys on his record too. Like they're,
Who's who?
you know what I mean?
This dude
10 and
literally came out of
23.
nowhere, man. That's why I'm like, where did he come from?
Come on.
This is the
After he got pasted over by Tony Bellew back in 2016, the next fight he had, the guy's record was 7-11. Then the next one was 28-9. 19-2, and then 10-23, 9-28. Stop.
Give this guy some credit, man. He's a world
I ain't
champion.
giving him no credit, son.
He's a world
I'm telling
champion.
you, I would rather see Beeb go for the title than this guy.
Makabu.
I want to see Beeb fight Makabu.
You want me to put the Lebanese cruiserweight title on the line?
The Lebanese, that's right, the cruiserweight title.
The Lebanese-
Caesar's asking, he says, can Makabu beat Benavidez or Charlo? I don't know, and I don't care. That's the thing. I could
wins?
care less who he beat. No, he cannot beat Benavidez. No. Now, can he beat Charlo? I don't know. But it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because I don't even want to see this guy fight. He doesn't belong in the same ring. He doesn't.
Right.
That's it. See, Brian
Right.
agrees. Brian,
Makabu.
this is your best call ever, Brian. I'm telling you that right now. I don't care what Beeb says about you behind closed doors and everything like that. When we're offline and everything, Beeb is cold as an iceberg when we hang up the phone. I'll tell you that right now. You know, he is as cold as an iceberg when we hang up this phone. I don't care what he says about you from here on out.
This is total manipulation on your part.
That's funny, man. Hey, man. Hey, Eric, thanks for not hanging up on me this time, man.
That's what I do. Hey,
Of course, you're not gonna.
do.
When you agree with him, you think
That's
he's
what
gonna
I
hang up
do.
on you?
You know, I mean,
You think he's gonna hang
I
up
let
on
the
you when you
people
agree
have their
with him?
say.
On me, see?
I told Beeb, check this out. I told
See,
Beeb
as soon as
today,
I say something
Brian,
Eric don't like.
check this
hey,
out. Check this out, Brian. Check this out. And this is true. And you guys can listen too. I told Beeb today, I was like, hey, are we going to have callers? Beeb's like, no, I'm not going to have callers on the show. I was like, no. We're going to let the people speak because I know where they're lying on this.
Text. I don't want to dox you or anything. Let me pull out the text.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, man.
He was afraid that you were going to call. That's why he didn't want callers.
All right, Brian, we're going to get going.
That's why he blocked Coach C.
718, Coach C. 718, you're live.
Well, I'm back for more.
Good. Who are we talking to?
I'm back for more.
What is he? What is it? Oh, it's Amir. It's Amir Khan.
Maestro.
Yeah.
I just stepped into my apartment lobby and stepped out on the street to get rid of this echo. But look, the depth at which you go, Eric, is kind of spectacular to kind of trash this fight. I mean, you literally just said
Completely trashing this
that
fight.
you don't know if the WBC Cruiserweight champion could beat the WBC Middleweight champion. You gonna stick by that statement?
Yeah, I do. I don't know that he beats Charlo.
Wow.
I don't know that he beats Benavidez. You think he beats Benavidez?
You know what?
You think he beats Benavidez?
Who,
I think
Makabu?
he beats. I think he beats Benavidez. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You think Makabu? Based on what?
Here's the thing.
This guy's got a dynamite left hand, man.
Look,
I wouldn't want to get
here's
hit
the
by it.
Here's the thing. Look, well, first of all, I got to say this. I mean, for Eric to like a fight, I'm guessing it has to be sanctioned by the UFC, and Dana White has to order it, right? We know Eric loves the UFC.
Right.
But moving on about this, the cruiserweight division historically has been a division that has kind of existed outside of the United States. For many years, super middleweight was like that too, but cruiserweight I think is even more so. It was only I want to say a little over a year ago, where people were saying that they didn't know if Lawrence Okoli was ready for Makabu, right? And now he's a WBO cruiserweight champion. I get that people have been seeing Makabu. I get it. He's from Congo. It's not exactly known for boxing, other than obviously the Rumble in the Jungle, which is in Zaire, which is what Congo used to be called when Mobutu was the dictator there. But look, I don't understand what people really want from Canelo. He just fought. He's already going to be back. He's announcing the fight for May 5th. People want to see him fight Charlo. Why? What has Charlo done at 168 pounds? The answer is nothing.
But don't you think that's a bigger fight? You don't think that's a bigger fight?
I guess.
What do you think sells more pay-per-view? Let me ask you a question. If we were to put both fights on pay-per-view, who sells more pay-per-views, Charlo or Makabu?
Makabu.
Well, I mean, pay-per-views, honestly, Eric, has never been my metrics. I mean, I watched the fight between Kazuto Ioka and Tanaka. That wasn't on pay-per-view. I mean, most people here in the United States didn't give a fuck about it. I loved it. I was up at 3 a.m. to watch it. It was one of the best fights I saw that year. So I don't rate fighters and fights based on interest amongst U.S. sports fans. Like that's just not what I go by. I can see why you say that. I mean, Charlo has a PVC behind him. He's got a big promotional push. But based on his last performance at 160 against Montiel, why are people clamoring to see him fight Canelo at 168? Like, that just does not make sense to me.
All right, can I ask you a question, though?
More of an argument.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
So, 48 hours ago, who did you want to see Canelo fight? 48 hours ago, who did you want to see Canelo fight? 48 hours ago,
I wanted to see him fight Joe Smith here in New York City because I'm biased. I wanted him to come to New York City so I could see him. I thought that was probably a good fight for him to take because I see it as an easy win, if I'm going to be honest with you. I was saying two things. I essentially laid out two options of potential scenarios I saw for Canelo. One, that he tries to beat Vladimir Klitschko's record of 14 for unified title defenses. He's not going to catch Saldagi for 168 defenses. I think that number's too high. But I could see him, if he plants his flag at 168, going for 15, which I think would be, all-time great level of kind of accomplishment. That was one scenario. The other scenario I saw was him going to 175 and trying to become undisputed there. So 2-8. And, 175 is also one of the original divisions, with 168 is not. So you get kind of more legacy points for that. But, I mean, definitely this was a curveball for sure, but I'm not going to track it as much as I've been hearing. I mean, the guy's going up to cruiserweight. My biggest problem with this is the WBC deciding all of a sudden to lower the weight division. That kind of cheapens the event for me, if that makes sense.
It absolutely does. Yeah, what are your? I mean, because
Canelo's already criticized for being a catchweight dude.
But it's not.
And this could be conceivably presented, as a catchweight.
Well, you know what?
Right?
He's used to fighting at 200 pounds. Makabu is. He's used to fighting at 200 pounds. He's fought there just about his entire career. He's, so he's used to 200 pounds, right? So now the WBC is saying you got to fight at 190. This isn't even a catchweight thing. This is like a WBC thing where they're lowering the cruiserweights.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. That much I agree with. I think that they definitely deserve criticism for it. And, Canelo clearly has clout with the WBC. I think that's pretty clear. I mean, Mauricio Sulaiman wants that 3% of the Canelo purse. It's a big amount of change, right? But I do want to kind of punch back at the theory that you have too, of that kind of the weight cut might affect him. Honestly, I think Canelo's going to fight at his natural weight. I think the difference here is that he won't do a weight cut. And I think the biggest difference between him and Roy Jones is Roy Jones was a lot more quick twitchy, than Canelo. I mean, he got people out of there just with blinding speed. that's not really Canelo's game. His punches are more thudding and hard than, quick, like Roy Jones, and kind of quick and snappy. So I'm not saying you're incorrect with that. I just don't know if I 100% see the direct comparison.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you like the fight? Let me ask you this. Do you like the fight?
I think it's an intriguing fight. I don't think it's a great fight by any means, but then I wouldn't have seen the Joe Smith fight as a great fight.
See, I
me,
would think
the great fight for Canelo is against Beterbiev. Plain and simple. That's a great fight.
That's a good fight. That's a good fight.
Anything less than Beterbiev to me is on this level. To me, a Jermel Charlo fight is not better than this fight. A David Benavidez fight is not better than this fight. I like David Benavidez, but he's very young. He's relatively inexperienced compared to Canelo. He does a lot of things in the ring that I think Canelo can exploit, particularly giving up his body as much as he does and eating the amount of punches that he does, granted from lesser level competition. But I don't think the Benavidez fight is a great fight. I think Beterbiev is like the one standout great fight potentially out there for Canelo. That's just my opinion.
I think it's a good fight. I think the Joe Smith fight is a good fight. I think that makes more sense in this fight. I'll be honest. I think it makes more sense in this fight. This fight doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. And like I said, one of the guys in the chat brought up a real good point.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the guys brought up a real good point. Does he go for bridgerweight next? That's a possibility, and then he could become 60-weight. So why don't we just keep creating weights?
I got into a big thing with Ness on the Boxing Voice about that. He got angry because I was saying the truth, which is that this is like one of the most cynical PR plays I've ever heard of. You're inventing a new division that people are critical of. So what do? You named it after a child that was mauled by a dog.
Right. Right.
I don't really think Canelo's going to go with that. That's not like a legacy fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
But here's the thing. Look across the list of the contenders out there. I mean, is this any worse than him taking on Zach Parker in a WBO mandatory fight? I mean, to me, it's not. So, look, it's a May 5th fight. It's Cinco de Mayo. He's going to try to do something special, and hopefully he moves on to bigger fish. But I just, like I said, I don't see it as any worse than the Charlo fight. That's for sure. Especially given the fact that Charlo has never even been at 168 and did not look very good the last time he fought at 160. But on that note, you guys have caught me in transition, leaving work, jumping on the train, or I caught you in transition. It's not your fault. And now I'm about to step back into my apartment. But thank you for taking my call, guys. I'll continue to listen.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Good points. Good points. 408, area code 408. You're live. 408, you're live.
Fight Doctor's in the house on Rick. Fight Doctor is in the house on Rick James status as always.
Fight Doctor. Fight Doctor, what do you think of this fight?
So I had heard some chatter about the WBC and the weight limit. Listen, I have said it before, I will say it again, that Canelo Alvarez is the most protected fighter in the sport. And really, at this point, it's outrageous. And I have no words. How in the hell is the WBC going to all of a sudden pull this out of their collective asses? Yesterday, it was 200 pounds, and today it's 190? Really?
Really weird, huh?
Honestly?
Yeah.
This guy hasn't been in the ring for over a year? Okay? And you're going to just weight drain him just like that.
Not good.
This is insane crazy. People should see, listen, look, I'm a fan of Canelo Alvarez, right? I have him at my pound for pound number one. I think he has the best resume among active fighters in the sport. But this is insane. This where did we come to? This is protectionism. Listen. I think this is borderline criminal. Really. I mean, at this point, I think like somebody needs to be investigated. Somebody probably needs to go to jail over this. You're just going to change the weight all of a sudden. Really?
I mean, it is their organization. I mean, they can do what they want, but I feel you.
This is a felony?
I mean,
maybe misdemeanor.
Do you think this should be a felony?
People have been trying to convince me like this isn't a cherry pick. Yeah, I mean, I've been having conversations with people, and their argument is the people who have been for this fight. Their argument is it's for legacy. It's for his fifth a title in his fifth weight class. And that this is the guy. He's a big cruiserweight. Well, he's going to be a big weight drain cruiserweight. Yeah, this is. This is. I have no words.
So let me ask you a question.
I have no words.
Let me
$2 horse.
Let me.
Right?
Let me ask you.
This is $2 horse territory. This is.
Let me pose this question real quick.
Right,
B, can there not be a unified cruiserweight champion now?
Could there not be a unified cruiserweight champion now?
Because if the weight is 190 for the WBC and 200 for everybody else.
Once again, Mauricio
Sulaiman, yeah.
Once again, Mauricio Sulaiman has really screwed things up again. First, it's the franchise title which caused. Now this is another one. Can I say something very derogatory? I guarantee you, after Canelo wins this belt and he vacates it, the cruiserweight limit, and within a 6 month to a year, probably in 6 months, it'll go back up to 200 again.
I have a feeling you're right. I agree. I have a feeling you're right.
Now, why didn't they just see? This is a way. Again, I hate to say this. This is a way of Canelo getting a catch weight without asking for a catch weight.
Without getting a catch weight. Yeah.
Basically, right? I mean, come on. So
not good.
Can we identify what's going on here? This is protectionism. This is racketeering. This is criminal. I'm just going to say it. This is criminal. I mean, look, when that guy, listen, this guy pays his sanctioning fee, right? He has to. If he's the WBC title holder, he has to pay his sanctioning fee, and he pays a sanctioning fee which says that the weight limit for cruiserweight is 200 pounds. And now all of a sudden, you're just going to change the weight limit? All of a sudden?
That's the one thing that kind of threw me for a curveball is the change in the weight.
Yeah.
Now, can I ask you a question? Fight Doctor and Eric. Would you look at this fight more? Would you both of you guys? Would you have looked at this fight more legitimately if the weight limit was still 200 pounds? Yes or no?
No, I really wouldn't have.
I mean, so look, the fight was a joke even prior to learning of this business with the weight. I suspected there was going to be some shenanigans going on, and my suspicion is proven correct. But I saw this fight before learning of this weight situation as being a joke. Now, in my mind, it's a circus. It's not a joke anymore. This is a circus. Free rings, clowns, top hats, elephants, peanuts, the clown car, the whole 9 yards. This is a circus.
So let me.
No, this is a racket. That's what this is.
Let me ask one more question. Let me ask. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Let me ask one more question. So there's a lot of negative feedback already for this fight, right? Do you think come fight time, do you think everyone's still going to tune in? Do you still think, because it's very similar to Mayweather McGregor, how everyone shit all over that. And then the closer the fight got, the more people got interested in it. Is this going to be a case of this is just Canelo, who cares? We're going to watch him anyways. Do you think that's going to happen come fight time?
I think so. I think so. I don't know what Fight Doctor thinks, but yeah.
What do you think, Fight Doctor?
So here's what I understand: that the sport of boxing is unfortunately not driven by the hardcore fan.
Correct.
Now, most of the people who listen to this broadcast are probably hardcore fans. The sport is driven by the casuals who aren't even aware. Most of the casuals aren't even aware, like, what cruiserweight, what is that? They don't know what that is. They're not aware that the cruiserweight limit is 200 pounds. Well, at least it used to be in the WBC until today. They're oblivious to all of this. And they don't care because they're casual. So they don't care. So, the only people who are going to hop on this are the hardcores, maybe the boxing media, maybe.
They should,
the old school boxing media. They should say something, but I'm not holding my breath. And of course, the networks are not going to say anything. They're not going to care. Okay? They're going to promote the hell out of this as being Alvarez fighting for a title in this weight class. And never mind the fact that, until yesterday, the weight limit was 10 pounds higher. So no. Nobody cares now except for us. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And this is criminal. And I'm thoroughly disgusted by what I'm hearing. I mean, this is criminal. I have no other word. It's criminal.
Let me ask you a question,
criminal.
Fight Doctor.
Somebody needs to go to jail.
Let me ask you another question. Is this the most disgusted you've been in recent years about something that boxing has done that really turned your stomach?
In my mind, this ranks up there with Antonio Margarito and that nonsense he pulled with Shane Mosley. This ranks right up there with that.
Wow.
Not quite as bad, but it's in the same area code.
Wow.
Ooh.
Right? Yeah.
Never seen you this adamant about something.
This is foul. This stinks. Something should be done because this is foul. Look, the guy was already a no-hoper, right? He was already a no-hoper. Now he has 0 chance. None.
I found out
I hate it.
I found out today that the weight limit was changed to 190, and that kind of put a damper on it somewhat for me. When it was 200 pounds, I was excited about it. But now you open up the door for the asterisks when you put it at 190.
You know what? That's a really good point. Drew in the chat says that cruiserweight was originally 190, and he's correct about that.
It was.
And I want to say it was when it debuted in 79 or something like that, 73, 79, somewhere in there. It debuted.
Yeah, about
but
79. I think it was 79. You're right. I think you're correct on that.
And then they put it back. They put it up to 200. That was like the weight limit. And now, for whatever reason, they decided to drop it. And I don't know how long. And in fairness, and this may not have been a Canelo thing, but in fairness, they, I know this was at their summit or their yearly summit or whatever they do with the WBC, their convention or whatever they call it. I know it was on the agenda. I don't know how closely related that agenda was with what happened now. I don't know.
Yeah, so the cruiserweight limit was moved up to 200 pounds damn near a decade ago.
2004.
Right. So
2004, longer than a decade. Yeah.
Almost, all right. So right. Okay. So my question
17
is
years
this,
ago. It's been 200 pounds for 17
what?
years, Fight Doctor. 17 years, it's been 200 pounds. Wow.
Okay, I stand corrected. Damn near
Jesus.
2 decades ago.
Yes. Wow.
And now you want to change it all of a sudden.
Yeah. His timing is horrible.
This stinks.
Yeah. It's awful. Yeah.
Can I say something else? Can I say something else? And I never thought I would kind of somewhat agree with Fight Doctor a little bit. I have to do this because people aren't going to like this. But the franchise title was created for Canelo as well. He was the first franchise champion. Right?
Makes no sense.
Now you can't put the genie back in the bottle. Right?
Makes 0 sense.
Now
can we just identify
Go ahead, Fight Doctor. I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted to say real quick, can we just identify a criminal organization for what it really is?
Well, yeah, I mean, because now it looks very suspect that you go out of your way to do these specific things for one particular fighter. It's not even with Mayweather. Obviously, Mayweather never had to fight a mandatory in his life. That's fine. That was one thing he got, right? But they didn't create special weight limits and stuff for Mayweather, right? Or title designations for Mayweather, right? So this is just a way of trying to appease the face of boxing, basically.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Much as I
And they're
like
probably
Canelo,
going to put this garbage on pay-per-view.
Man, I tell you what, I hope they don't put this on pay-per-view.
Yeah, and
That would be awful if they put this on pay-per-view.
yeah.
Because I wonder who's going to promote it. I mean, at the end of the day, that's going to tell us whether it's going to be on pay-per-view or not. The other thing that's going to tell us is how much is he going to make for this fight. That's going to tell us if it's going to be on pay-per-view or not.
The thing is this too. This guy is already at a disadvantage in terms of skill. Now you're going to tell him he's been off a year already.
It'll be a year in December.
It'll be a year in December. By the time this fight happens in May, it'll be roughly
17 months.
It'll be roughly a year and a half, little over a year and a half. And now you're going to hit him with, okay, we're going to change this weight limit. So he's been out for so long, and now all of a sudden, I don't know what he's been doing. I don't know if he's been relaxing. I don't know if he's been training. I don't know what he's been doing. But now all of a sudden, he's going to get down to 190. This guy's going to kill himself to get down to 190.
Well, and it doesn't matter. I'm sure he'll fight Canelo at 168. It doesn't matter. That part doesn't really matter. But the part, like I said, he doesn't have a chance anyway with everything going his way.
This is totally not fair. It's totally not fair to him.
No,
it's not. I will say that. He'll be out of the ring for over a year and a half, and now you're going to tell him he's got to come back at 190 instead of 200.
Right.
That's not right.
Yeah. All right, Fight Doctor, we're going to get rolling, man.
I've said it before.
Finish your point. Finish your point.
Finish your point. Go ahead and finish.
I just wanted to
finish your point. Go ahead.
The last point I wanted to make was I've said before that being a hardcore boxing fan is sort of like being married to a $2 prostitute. And right now, that's how I feel. I feel like I'm married to a $2 prostitute, and this is Exhibit A. Why my heart is broken. This is boxing, people. Okay? Corrupt to the core. And all parties involved are knee deep in the corruption. Okay? Knee deep in the corruption. Everybody. Just corrupt. And I'll leave you gentlemen with that.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fight Doctor. Let's see here. Let's see. What do we have? Let me address some of these questions in the chat real quick before we jump off of here. Somebody said it feels like this fight will be on the zone. I hope so, because I'm not going to pay for it. That's I'll tell you what, that's for sure. AHDZ says Mayweather circumvented rules in other ways. Yeah, he absolutely did. He absolutely did. This is the pain about when it becomes a guy that's not a champion versus a guy that's the money guy. You know what I mean? They don't hold the same standards.
It's a bad look.
You
man.
know,
it's a bad look.
Really is, man. It really is. It's just a bad look. Let's see what else we got in here. Axiom says Makabu has a lot of time to train and adjust. Yeah, I get it. He does. But it's not going to be the same. You know what I mean?
It's not fair to do it for the toughest fight of your career either.
Yeah.
No time to get acclimated.
No, for 100. I mean, to lose 10 pounds after that, because he's probably got to cut down to 190. I'm sure he has to cut down to 190.
No,
Jamie Oliver says there's been discussions for over a year to move to cruiserweight. That's fine. I still think that move sucks.
I've never heard it, but I don't know.
I mean, we're not involved in WBC's in and outs either, but and I get it. And it was at their convention, so maybe that was the case. But you know, that being said, it's still a lousy move.
Yeah, it's not a good move.
Again, it's still a lousy move. So again, you cannot have a unified cruiserweight title now because you have separate weights.
Yeah.
Cali King says, Andres Lugo says, Cali King, Canelo's avoiding Charlo and Benavidez and Ramirez and many more. I don't think he's avoiding anybody. You can't really say he's avoiding anybody. He's fought the toughest guys out there. I mean, he has. And if you want to call it a cherry pick, okay, that's a cherry pick. But why? I mean, it's like Conor. It's like Floyd and Conor. What didn't he fight? Who did he fight for his 50th win? Is that Conor he fought for his 50th, or was that his 49th? Or
Conor was 50, yeah.
Right. A guy who's never had a professional fight. You know what I mean? I don't consider him 50 and
that broke Rocky Marciano's record.
Right. It's ridiculous.
And the Marciano family is so upset with that too.
Yeah, because it's ridiculous that he did that. You know, that's my issue with it.
Yeah, it's a bad look.
It's a bad look. So, all right, guys. Well, listen, we're going to jump off here, man. Stay tuned because Friday we might have a weigh-in show going on here. We'll see that Sean Porter, Terrence Crawford weigh-in show. See what's going on there, and then of course Sunday we got the big show with at 6:00, and we'll be giving away more Manscaped products, and we'll also go over the Charlo's on the brain here. Crawford and Porter fight. So yeah, man, stick around and make sure to catch us this week. All right. And that'll do it. All right, guys.